Evening, everyone. I'm David. Haven't been here for very long. I'm from South London, but you can hear by the accent that's not where I was originally from. As I say, I've only been here about 6 months, so you can say I'm fresh off the boat. But as an immigrant from Africa, probably not the right choice of phrase. I do have a visa, I promise. So now I come from a conservative country. And you know, the other night, I watched my first porno. Now, I was so much younger then. You know, maybe you remember me. I went by the name of Sirloin. Now, I come from a big family. There were only 4 of us, but we were all fat. No? And my poor mother, she used to go and do the weekly shopping every day. We grew up when meat was cheap, especially sirloin steak. And these days, I don't like my wife having a big dinner because, quite frankly, I don't like sleeping on a full stomach. Now, talking about my wife and my family, I actually got married a little bit later in life. And as I said, I come from a big family, and I'd go to all the cousins' weddings, and every time I'd go there, you know, you'd see all the old aunties there, and they'd always come up to me, you know, sometime during the ceremony, and they'd go to me, David, are you next? David, are you next? And then I just used to like fob them off. And then my grandmother, sweet dear old lady, she finally passed away and we went to her funeral. And my grandfather was a pilot in South African Airways. He made a lovely eulogy. It was a great ceremony. And at the end of the ceremony, I saw all those aunties standing up there on the steps. And I went up to each and every one of them and I said, "Are you next? Are you next?" My grandfather, bless his soul, passed away peacefully a few months later. You know, it wasn't nearly as peaceful for the other 180 people on the aeroplane. Now, people ask me, what's the difference between living in London and living in South Africa? So, I cast my mind back and, I can't even remember much of the first week because I tried to change tubes at bank. Then in South Africa, my wife and I, we really liked going to escape rooms. And we got here and, money was a little bit tight, so we just went to IKEA. And then here, everyone bleats on about the NHS. You know, the strikes and the waiting lists and not being able to get your medication. And just last Monday, actually, I wasn't feeling so well, so I went to the doctor. And he says to me, "David, I'm not actually sure what's wrong with you. Maybe it was all the drinking at the football at the weekend." So now I'm going back on Wednesday. Hopefully he's sobered up by then. Now, while I was here in the UK, one of my heroes and a really good friend of mine, Matthew Perry, passed away. He drowned in a jacuzzi. Apparently he's no swimmer. Too soon? Talking about swimming, I went to the Brockwell Lido the other day. And the lifeguard shouted at me very loudly not to pee in the pool. I got such a fright, I almost fell in. Now, I live in Sutton. They say it's one of the most dangerous places in London. You can die of boredom there. And then the other day, I had to phone the local councillor. So it was about 3 o'clock on Thursday afternoon. I phone up, and the janitor answers the phone. And I say to him, "Can I speak to Mr. Benstead Smith, please?" They said, "No, he's not here." So I go, "Oh, doesn't he work in the afternoons?" So the guy goes, "No, he doesn't work in the mornings. In the afternoons, he goes home." So now we're sitting here watching the TV, seeing all the violence in Gaza and the Middle East, and I decided to go to one of those pro-Palestinian rallies to see what was happening. So I go there, and I listen to all the slogans, and I hear them singing all their songs, and I think to myself, these were probably a lot better in the original German. Finally, you get 2 types of people in this world. Those that can extrapolate from incomplete information. Thank you, London. You've been wonderful. I'm David Taite, and I've enjoyed this way more than I thought I would.